I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
And we are The Inner Idiot.
This podcast contains graphic language, violence, and other things that you probably should not let your children listen to. Please enjoy. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy.
I guess we're going to get started here. Man, the live is thin today. Oh, man, we're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Stop what you're doing. Swallow what you're chewing. It ain't wet from sweating. We ain't done yet. Lube up them ear holes or we're going in dry, people.
Attaboy. Golly, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I got an attaboy already. That is great. All right, I am your host, MC Tyler Havlin, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly. And welcome to the Inner Idiot Podcast. It's your favorite time of the week, people. That's all I got to say. Let me introduce my wonderful co-host. He is the Lord that's never bored, the commander of the comic books. He's been petting kitty and grabbing titty since December 11th, 2020, dumb. Shorty fresh in the flesh. 2 claps and a Ric Flair for the Lord himself, Shorty Hoffman.
Woo! The Lord himself. This is a sacrilegious morning.
It is not.
It is.
Not at the Church of the Idiot.
Nah. You're right. You're right, I guess.
I've yet to give a sermon, like a proper sermon.
Please don't.
It's going to happen. I promised that it would happen eventually.
How's communion going to work? What are we going to do for that? All right, introducing Miles.
Ew.
He's a Jedi in the streets and a Sith in the sheets. If you got a pappy, he will schmear it. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Dr. Miles Sham. Woo!
No, just no. I have terrible images in my head now.
About communion?
Yes.
It's called communion, not communion.
Come.
No,
union.
stop it.
Come in union.
Rip.
It'll happen.
No, that's gross. It's terrible.
This is
Stop.
my flesh.
Stop.
This is my baby gravy.
Oh, God.
All right.
That's gross.
Well, guys, it's spring has finally sprung. I mean, it was snowing a fucking week ago, but spring.
I'm so happy.
It's sprung.
So happy.
So happy.
Yeah, and I see you in here slooting it up today. This brings me joy.
Slooting it up.
Yeah,
and
and
tank top. He's
and his
modest.
short shorts and his tank top.
Short shorts.
No, this is like entry-level slootiness.
Said entry level.
That's where it begins.
Yeah, it starts with this, and next thing you know, Daisy Dukes and fishnets.
I'm here for it. When you do Daisy Dukes and fishnets, we gotta have a photo shoot.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So that brings me to today's top 5. Our top 5 favorite things about spring. You guys said this would be an easy one.
It is.
Here we go. Miles, we're probably going to share one, but that's all right. We're going to let you kick it off. That's how we roll.
All right. So, starting in no particular order, because I never have an order, we have, obviously, shorts and tank tops. Love it. It's comfy. It's breezy.
It's breezy.
Slightly slooty. But really lets people know what's what I may or may not have.
Am I the only one that puts these things in order? I think I am. I'm the only
Probably.
one that does the countdown.
Probably. There's been a few that I've done in order.
There's been a couple, but it's just I feel bad picking an order because some of these I'm like, would rank way higher.
Why do you feel bad about
Yeah,
it?
you just giving your fucking options participation trophies at this point. God, I couldn't get that out.
Yeah, because that's shit I grew up with. So that's what I'm conditioned to do. Everybody's a winner. No, we ain't. Next up is swimming. I like to go swimming. I like to take the kids swimming. We always have a good time, be it down at the creek, the lake, the pool, whatever. It's a blast.
All right. I get down with it.
Then we just have outside in general. I spend a lot of time playing on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
When it's warm out, I like to go outside. Even if that just means I sit on the back patio and smoke cigarettes.
You gotta get some sun on them guns, man.
Why? So we can fry?
Yeah. I get 15 minutes of daylight, man. Okay? I have to use it wisely. Next up, it's not cold no more.
Oh,
I'm so tired of the cold.
bro.
The first person I hear bitch and moan about it's too hot is getting punched.
No, dude, I'm here for it.
And not just like little punchies in the arm. No, I'm going to like full on, off the table, Superman.
Punch you in the back of the face.
You gotta thunder kick them bitches in the gooch for
Dude,
that.
I'm telling you. Fuck, they drive me nanas.
And then finally, you got all the little honeys running around now.
Word?
More so than in winter, because it's cold and furry boots and shit. Nah, get out of
Hey,
here.
some of those honeys know how to dress in the cold.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but they're still wearing leggings, and I'm here for it. I don't care what season it is.
Leggings are nice though, man. Yeah, I mean, until you've worn leggings, you don't understand. Like, they will keep you warm.
They're just like long johns. They just seem not that great.
We know I'm here for the leggings. I like wearing them myself.
That's it. That's my 5.
That's your 5. All right, well, maybe we didn't share one. We kind of share one, but yeah.
It makes me afraid to think what we would have shared on that.
You're up.
He's getting a little bit more tame, so it'll be all right. Let's see. Again, no particular order, except for, like, number 1. Number 1's always number 1. Like, that's the top one on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's longboarding season, guys. I can bust out my longboard. I can go on my rides. I can ride back and forth to work. It's going to be great. I love it. I want to do it again. I'm so excited. Me and Don took him out a couple weeks ago when it was like 65 for a whole like 30 minutes. Me and Donnie were like, let's get on him and go. We went out. It was great. It was beautiful.
I'm down 30 pounds. If I keep losing weight at this rate, I might hop on a longboard by the end of the season.
Let's do it. Number 4 is frisbee golfing time. It's finally warm enough. It's stopped. It's not raining as much anymore, so it's not going to be muddy and slippery and shit, and I'm here for it. Like, I want to go frisbee golfing again. I cannot wait. I've already done it once this year, and it was too damn cold for me. Like, if I can't disc golf with my shirt off, I'm not here for it.
I like the way that just rolled off the tongue.
I bought a frisbee. Like, somebody bought me a frisbee with that on there. It said disc golf with your shirt off. It had a picture of a dude throwing, and I drew dreadlocks on him because I had dreadlocks at the time. Number 3, the scents. I love flowers and the way they smell. And now they're all blooming and stuff like that. Like, I even like dandelions, like the way they smell and shit. Dude, I'm so damn excited. Like,
dandelions have a smell?
Yeah. It's slight, but it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now, like, everything, dude, like, everything smells so good. Like, I walk through the floral department and stuff, or, like, the outside of Kroger's and shit. They got flowers and shit going. Ah, yes. It smells so good. Number 2. What was number 2? God, the warm weather. Warm weather, just in general. Like, I'm not cold anymore. I hate it. I would much rather sweat than freeze. I do not care. And this ties into number 1. No shirts. Ever. Just, and working in grocery stores. In grocery stores, get lucky if I button it up. I got button-ups that I wear.
Can they say something to you if it's not buttoned up? Because, I mean, technically, you still have a shirt on.
I don't know.
You just button one of them buttons and you should be all right.
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even do that. Like, if I go down to the corner store here, nobody gives a shit.
I don't understand parts of that because, you could wear a shirt and not have it buttoned, but, like, this is almost just as bad, I'll roll it up like this. I'll go in and
and you're
brawl,
fine.
You know.
Yeah.
Nobody says a damn thing.
I don't know. It's a weird, like, what are the rules? If anybody here that's listening decides the dress code for grocery stores, can you please elaborate on that? Send one of us a message, because I want to know, like, what are the lines that can and can't be crossed, because we're gonna tiptoe them.
Right.
All right. Here's my top 5.
All right,
I kept it timid, guys. I kept it timid. All right. Hot girls got hot girl summer, right?
Yep.
And last year we talked about fuckboy summer, but really it should be fuckboy winter, because that's when they got to shack up with people so they have a place to stay in the cold, right? so it's fuckboy winter, hot girl summer, and we'll go with ugly chick fall, because they can wear a lot of makeup and.
I feel like they can wear a lot of makeup any time of the year, but hey, that's okay.
All right.
Does this tie in with like fat guy spring?
But spring, it's fat guy spring. That's right. We can wear a hoodie. We can wear shorts. We can wear sleeveless. We can wear whatever the fuck it is we want to wear and be okay.
It's my favorite time of year. Nobody judges you on what you dress.
Fat guy spring. You can wear whatever you want.
Like, man, it's a little warm out here for a hoodie. Yeah. Don't care.
It's a little cold for a tank top. Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine.
All right. Number 4 is I can finally pinch a loaf without breaking a sweat. Because, look, in the wintertime, the heat's on, and the vent is usually right by the toilet.
I was so confused. I was like, why are you not, like, why are you sweating?
Pretty sure he always does that.
Yeah. I mean, but you got the heat blasting right on you in the wintertime. Now you can turn the heat off, right?
You can have cold air blasting on you.
Yeah, hell, you can just have the window open. And that's even better, because then the particles and stuff, they just go right out the window, instead of just permeating in the fucking bathroom. So that's a twofer right there, right? The bathroom stinks less, and you don't get as hot while you're taking the deuce.
That's fair.
Just the fact that this is like a primary concern to you is worrying.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, dog. Like, you might need to change up your diet if you're sweating every time you take a dump.
I more so sweat when I have to poop than when I'm actually pooping, because I'm actively.
See, that makes more sense.
Because, like, I have no gallbladder, so I'm actively holding, like, the floodgates. So it's like I'm working out. Like, my abs are tight.
What does the gallbladder have to do with your sphincter?
All right. So a gallbladder, Dr. Miles should know this since he is a doctor. But the gallbladder pumps bile into the intestines when you eat certain thing to help digest it.
Okay.
So I don't have a gallbladder. So instead of it giving me bile when I need it, it's just always a constant drip. So that shit's like a water slide in that motherfucker.
So your shits are always liquid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
TMI, I know. But, hey, I'm trying to keep it timid.
I asked.
I know. My boys get some fresh air. And by my boys, I mean my newts. I can wear shorts instead of pants all the goddamn time. That way.
So, speaking of nuts and shit, I recently bought some new underwear where there's a fucking dick pouch.
I've heard of these.
A dick pocket. I don't know what to call it.
Dick
but,
pocket.
like, dick pocket. I like the term dick pocket. Somebody said pouch. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. But it's literally just like, so you know how, like, you got the slit in the front for your dick to fly out when you want to take a leak?
It just flies out.
When you want to.
That bitch drank a Red Bull. It has
conscious
wings.
thought? Do you have to think for it to fly out, or does it just do it on its own?
It's got a head of its own. You know what I'm saying? But no, these are two little walls or whatever. It just separates. Like, dude, I mowed the lawn yesterday, and I was wearing them. And, like, my balls, by the time I was done, did not stick to my leg. It was such a weird...
You had them in the pocket?
Yeah, it was in the pocket. I didn't know it at first. Like, I didn't realize it. Like, I woke up in the morning, like, why does my dick feel like it's hanging outside my underwear? You know, it's a weird feeling. I don't like it. So, I'm sitting there, like, checking everything out. I'm like, oh, this is weird. And, like, I did the whole thing, like, when you're a little kid looking at your dick. Like, I did the whole thing, like, what's going on down there? And I was like, oh, there's a pocket for it now. Sweet.
That's weird.
No, it's dope, dude. I'm telling you.
The good thing is you got to be working with something to be able to put it in the pocket.
It's fair. But, like, it holds your nuts and shit, so your nuts don't stick to your legs.
I like it.
It's great.
Yeah. So, my boys get the breeze. Hey, you know what? Speaking of underwear, I'm going to go ahead and give our guys over at Dad's on Dayquil a shout out here, because they turned me on to this underwear from Shinesty, and I used their promo code and got a discount.
Shinesty?
Shinesty. dope ass underwear. Check them out. Use promo code Dads on Dayquil. They'll hook you up. All right, my number 2 is my bald head ain't as cold. Look, here's what people don't realize. In the winter, they do realize your bald head gets colder. The springtime is the perfect time for a bald head because the sun's not like toxic yet. So my bald head, it stays perfect. But what people don't realize is in the summertime, they think, oh, you don't have hair, your head stays cooler. No.
It burns.
It burns. And the sun directly hits it. It gets hotter. So, all right. So, yeah, my bald head, springtime, perfect time to be bald. Fellas, shave your head now. By summertime, it'll start coming back. You'll be good. No.
Not doing it. Can't make me.
My number 1 is when you're in bed at night, and this kind of goes back to the bathroom, the heat is no longer on, okay? But when you're in bed at night, you're laying there, and you got your feet under the blanket. I can sleep with my feet under the blanket now in springtime. In wintertime, with the goddamn heat blasting, your feet are under the blanket, they start to get hot. You're like, no, I got to stick my feet out. So you stick your feet out for a few minutes. Then you're like, the fucking toe-licking demon's going to come somewhere from around the corner, start licking my feet. I got to put them back in. Then you pull your feet back in, and you're like, oh, I feel constricted. I got to put my feet back out. You put your feet back out. You're like, somebody's going to reach out from under the bed, grab my feet. I got to put my feet back in. Then you put your feet back in, and then you're all fucking paralyzed. You're like, oh, my God, I can't move. What the fuck am I doing? I got to put my feet back out. You put your feet back out. You're like, God damn it, the foot-looking demon's going to be here in a minute. And then you put your feet back in, and then you start to have an anxiety attack because your feet are in the fucking blanket. So you put your feet back out, and then the dog comes in, and you're like, oh, God, the dog's going to bite my foe. And then you pull your feet back in, and you're just sweating to goddamn death because your feet are in the blanket and the heat's blasting.
You need to calm down.
The really fucked up part is, like, I cover up at night, like, imagine, here's the bed. Like, pull my blankets diagonal, and I only cover up from, like, my waist to my shoulders. That's the only part that has a blanket on me.
I don't often use a blanket.
All right, well.
I was told by a chick that I was a fucking psychopath.
Long story short, I could put a blanket over my feet in the springtime.
Good. I'm happy for you, Ty, because that panic attack you damn near just had, like, fucked you up. By the way, Dominique just said, she said, when sunburn gets on your head, it looks like a cracked egg with skin peeling.
It really does. That's about right.
That's good shit.
Well, that is our first segment of the day. I think in our second segment, we're going to talk about some stuff our parents did that drove us nuts. Or, what was it?
Psychologically conditioned me for being good with everything.
Psychologically conditioned us, embarrassed us, whatever. We're just going to talk about our parents and shit. So
this is going to be great.
If you're watching on Facebook Live,
I'm sorry, Mom and Dad.
You gotta tune in Thursday. And go ahead, hit the button. We'll be back.
Do you love podcasts? Of course you do. That's why you're here. But you know what's even better than listening to a podcast? Making your own. That's right, and Anchor makes it simple. I'm your favorite host, MC Tyler Havlin, and I'm telling you, go download the Anchor app today, Anchor FM. They have all the tools you need to get started today. And best part is, it's totally free. They push it out to all the major platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. So get started today, people. Go download the app, Anchor FM. I'll wait. Do it now.
And we're back, and like you heard us discuss on the first segment, we're going to talk about stuff our parents did to embarrass us, condition us for life, things that drove us crazy, maybe some stuff we do to our kids. But before we get started, we have another special guest, returning from last week, the one and only Bomb Bomb Manuel, 2 claps and Ric Flair.
Woo! Glad to be back, guys. I had so much fun last time.
That's why you're back.
That is exactly why I'm back.
Pull the mic a little bit closer to you, please.
I'll hold it wherever I want.
Don't tell him how to live his life.
Or exactly where you need it to be.
Thank you. I'm the producer of the show, damn it.
I'm just a sexy voice.
You are
I'm
kind
aroused.
of yeah, I went 6 midnight. All right, so there was this one thing my dad used to do to me. It wasn't embarrassing because he only did it like when we were in the car and I got to sit in the front seat with him, which was always because he drove a truck. So anytime I rode with him.
So it's the.
So if you were put in the back, it was an insult.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
call that fun.
Back when we were young, sitting in the back was allowed and it was fun. You do
Yeah,
that
that's true.
today, you're getting CPS called on you. But he would do this thing, and I found myself doing it to my kids. He would slam his hand down on my knee and squeeze.
Yeah.
Like, is that just a dad thing?
My mom did that more than my dad.
Yeah? And if it,
What was the point of it, though? It's like, scare you?
Yeah.
well, to either tickle you or hurt you, one of the two.
Dad would do it for hurting. Mom would do it for tickling.
Yeah.
Got it. Didn't get it from my parents. Haven't done it to my kids.
Not yet.
Fair.
So anytime my dad's hand would come up, I'd flinch. Like, and it wasn't because I thought he was going to hit me. It was because I thought he was going to grab my knee.
Yeah.
Dude, it was horrible.
Mom does that. My mom does that every time I'm at the table. If I'm sitting next to her, she's like, ooh, I can grab your knee.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about grabbing your kid's knee. It's like a rite of passage.
I have yet to do it.
Yeah, Miles.
Hop on it.
You guys got to get on this, man. You guys.
To-do list. Grab knee. Got it.
Added.
Added.
Put it right there next to go to the store and get some Skittles. I've been thinking about Skittles all week.
I know. Me too.
Skittles and cream savers.
We didn't get nearly enough Skittles on the bunny holiday.
Damn.
Well, adults don't get candy on Easter.
Dude, a couple years ago, I filed an actual human resource complaint form on my mom because she didn't give me an Easter basket. Because my dad was the one who shut it down at first. Like, when I first moved out, Dad was like, they don't get no damn Easter baskets. So Mom started buying a bunch of candy or whatever, and Dad's like, what are you doing? This is several years ago. And Mom's like, I'm making Easter baskets. He's like, for who? She's like, the kids. And he's like, but whose are those for? Like, who for? Like, which 4 kids get those? Oh, our kids, Jim, Jeremiah, Rosemary, Shorty. And, like, instantly, my dad's like, they don't get Easter baskets. So then I get to Easter lunch or whatever, and Mom's like, I was going to make you Easter basket, or... No, Dad was like, oh, we need to get them for the kids. Sorry, I had it reversed. My bad. Dad was like, we need to get Easter baskets for our kids. Mom's like, no, they don't get Easter baskets. And Dad's like, oh, well, I guess we're not doing Easter baskets for Jim, Jeremy, and Rosemary. Like, John. And I was like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Mom shut it down? And Dad's like, yeah, she did. I was like, oh, heck nah. So I printed off a human resource complaint form and filed it. Mom,
You had it so ingrained that your dad shut it down that you even messed up.
yeah, I had it. So, yeah. So like she gets to the house. She was running. She had to do something with the church. She shows up. Mom walks in the door. I'm like, here you go. She's like, what is this? I'm like, a complaint form. She goes, excuse me. And she's like, you really did do this? I was like, yeah. Now who's the head of HR? They need to see this. This needs to be filed. I was like, one more, Mom, and you're getting wrote up.
Our parents kept doing them until the first grandkid.
What?
We got it well into adulthood until the first grandkid came along. Then we're like, you done? I'm like,
Really?
yep.
Yeah, I'd say it's about the same for us, too.
I got fucking cheated. I don't think I got one after I turned 10 years old.
You sad
fuck?
child.
Because I didn't really move out until, Bryson was born anyway. So I was about 19, 20. I think that's about the time my Easter basket stopped. I still complain about it. I'm like, hey, Mom, where is it? She's like, you don't get one no more. I said, keep this up. You're going in a home.
I just got PTSD, you guys.
Autograph that knee.
I had to do it at some point.
Bonbon grabbed my knee.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but you all lucky, man. My parents like, no, you ain't getting an Easter basket.
See, like, Mom and Dad gave us Easter baskets until, like, I moved out. Because they were like, oh, Jim and Jeremy don't get one anymore because they have families of their own. They're doing it now. So, like, of course, my brothers are 10 and 15 years older than I am. So, like, no big deal. And I was like, all right, cool.
Crazy,
well,
yeah.
I moved out, and I was like, I come over for Easter, like, 19 years old or 18 or whatever after I moved out. I'm like, where's my candy, yo? And Mom's like, you don't get one. So what do you mean I don't get one? Dad said no.
I mean, I think my
you got
brother
it wrong again.
My brother had moved out.
No, that
I
was
was
right.
still there. The first grandkid was born. That did put the nix on it, and then I think I got like a 20 slip to me or something, which is completely fine.
Right.
But
Buy my own
yeah,
damn
candy.
Eastern baskets.
like I think it was just that first year. Mom was like, "We're not doing them this year. Here you go. Like, we're only doing it for the grandkids." And I was like,
I might
get that.
not get
That's
a
fine.
basket anymore, but now I get 4.
Yeah, you get dad tax.
Oh, absolutely.
"Oh, the dad tax in this household is riots would be started over this amount of taxing. Literally, it's like 90 to 10."
So you're King Edward and his bitch.
Well, it's like when the littlest was born, took him for his first Halloween. Well, the one neighbor was like, "You're just using him for free candy, ain't you?" I said, "You know it."
Dude, I try and dad tax my kids, and let me tell you what, it does not go over well. The youngest one, I swear to God, she come at me with a hatchet last time.
It was fake.
It was still a hatchet. She was a firefighter for Halloween, and she had a little hatchet.
Right.
She came at me with that motherfucker.
Well, to her, it's an axe.
Two-handed.
Yeah.
Tomato. Still a blade at the end of a fucking wooden handle she was coming at me with. But, yeah, I'm going to have to put my parents up on the trading block. So if anybody wants to trade, I got you.
No, I love my mom and dad.
Yeah, I love my parents too.
Well, my mom's very portable. You can take her with you wherever you go.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like she is carry on.
That's fucked up.
It's true though. I loved my mom, but she was a bit crazy. All right. Well, how did your parents condition you to be okay with everything?
Yeah, so you started off this or like, oh, we're going to talk about how our parents embarrassed us and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I don't really have. I can't think of any. I'm going to have to ask my mom and dad, like, how they embarrassed. Like, is there things that I did get embarrassed by? Because I can't recall any. However, my mom and dad got me conditioned to be okay with just flying by the seat of my pants and just adapting to what's around me. Because
It's a good trade.
it is a good trade. I mean, terrible what they did because mom, like, we were at Walmart when they had the old, like, TVs and stuff. You could play demos and stuff on games. Mom grocery shop, and she'd just leave me there, like, at the game station.
Just leave you there.
Well, I mean, I don't want to walk around and
You know
look
what?
at canned
Back in
foods.
the day, that was okay.
Yeah,
Now,
that was fine.
Nobody can be trusted anymore.
Yeah, apparently. But,
Society.
But I was sitting there playing games or whatever for what felt like an eternity, and I stopped playing because my neck started hurting. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I started looking
You
around.
got to wrench your neck in those things. They were like,
Yeah. And so I start walking around the store trying to find my mom. Can't find her. So I walk up to the lady behind the counter and say, excuse me, can I use your phone? She goes running. But I go to the lady, I said, can I use your phone? And she's like, yeah, sure. So I called here, my house, and my mom answers.
Oh no, she left you there.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome.
So mom's like, where are you? I was like, Walmart. She's like, why? What do you mean, why? You left me here. Oh. Oops. And she hung up. I was like, well, I guess I'll wait.
Did she come back to get you? Or
Yeah,
did you
she
have
came
to
back
walk?
and get me.
What Walmart was this?
The old one in Florence.
Oh, okay.
Before
That's been a hell of a walk.
the one where, like, Guitar Center is now.
Yeah. And, let's see, I was left at church. Like, my parents used to volunteer to clean, like, once a month or whatever. Different families did it, so my mom would often take us with her. So mom and dad were cleaning or whatever. Well, I fell asleep on one of the, pews or whatever. And I woke up and started walking around. I set off the motion alarms. And the cops showed up. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like 7. Oh, just hanging out. And they're like, how did you get in here? My mom and dad let me in. Where's your mom and dad?
At home?
So they called the pastor, who called my grandmother, who was the secretary, and she come and got me and took me home. And mom's like, where have you been? I was like, at church. Like 7 years old. Like, just, dude, I got left everywhere.
Are your parents, like, are they a little spacey? Because they sound like they're just leaving you everywhere.
Dude, well, see, mom did it on accident. Dad did it on purpose. So me and my dad like to get in playful arguments all the time. Like me making fun of something that he loves and he'll make fun of something I love. Well, I like to push that envelope. And so I'm sitting there pushing the envelope one time, and dad drops me off, and this is not a joke, this is a true story, drops me off at an orphanage. And I was like, what are we doing here? He's like, do you know what that building is? I was like, no. He's like, read the sign. I read it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Why are we here? He's like, get out. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, get out of the car. I was like, oh, okay. So I got out of the car. I was like, good joke, Dad. This guy, hits the gas so hard the door shuts and he just takes off. I was like, okay, well.
Hi, new
Better see what
family.
this place is all about then.
That's exactly what I did. I walked in and I'm like 14. And the lady's like,
No.
she's like, can I help you? I was like, yeah. I think I need a place to sleep. And she's like, why? And I was like, well, my dad just dropped me off and told me this is my new home. And she goes, excuse me?
Oh man,
And I was-
that didn't go over well, did
Well,
it?
she's like, do you need to use our phone? I was like, yeah, my mom probably come get me. So I call here. Mom, Rosemary answers, gives it to mom. Mom, I talked to mom for a minute. Dad gets home because I spent a long time talking to that lady at the joint. And the joint, yeah. This is where you're sending kids, right?
Kid joint.
Yeah,
The clink.
But Dad gets home by the time I talk to mom or whatever, and Dad's like, nope, make him walk home. It was like a 2.5 hour walk.
You talking about the one on Orphanage, right? Yeah.
An orphanage on orphanage.
Yeah, that's why it's called Orphanage.
Yeah, that's why it's called Orphanage.
It's fucked up.
My dad left me in Cincinnati before because I was making fun of Star Trek. And that man has the nerve to tell me he's not a nerd. I upset him so much because I was making fun of Captain Kirk. And he was like, get out. And I was like, Dad, we're in Cincinnati. You can't do this.
You
I'm like,
said, what about the Shatner?
exactly. And he's like, get out. I was like, Dad, we're in Cincinnati. I can't walk home from here. He's like, you're gonna. And I didn't have a cell phone or nothing. I'm like,
Over Star Trek?
oh, yeah.
I like
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
Dude, my dad's great. I say this as he's dropping me off places. I'm like 16 years old, 15 or 16. And he's just like, get out of the car. So I get out of the car. Luckily, he got off the highway. He got off the highway and dropped me off at a gas station. He goes, don't even think about calling home. And just took off. I was like, well, this is a trek now.
Don't you call your mother?
Yeah. I was like, this is going to be a trek. So I walked in. I had like $5. I bought myself a sports drink or whatever, just hoofed it home. I got home at like 10:30 at night. Mom's like, where have you been? Well, if I told you, Dad's going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And Dad's like, I dropped him off in Cincinnati. I was like, why? You don't want to know.
Star
I was
Trek.
like, Dad, you don't want to tell her. She wants to know, but you don't want to tell her.
Imagine having that conversation with the parent of your child. Yeah, I left them about 20 miles away because of Star Trek.
He was only 14.
That's how far it is?
That makes it so much better.
Yeah.
When I got
Not
one,
an easy walk.
no, it wasn't. Like
Especially cutting the hill.
Well, dude, I didn't know where to go. I'm in Cincinnati. You know how long it took me to find the bridge I could walk across? Because I wasn't sure. I was like, well, this is the bridge we drive across. Maybe they have a sidewalk. So I walk over there because I hadn't driven yet. I didn't have a license or permit or nothing. So I'm just walking down there like, fuck, can't walk down that one.
And then it's a 20-minute walk to the Brent Sprint.
Yeah.
Brent Spence.
Yeah, so I walk all the way down into fucking Newport, then walk through Newport to get to Covington, up the Cutting Hill, got to church, took myself a good old break, and then walked the rest of the way home. I was like, this is ridiculous.
That's funny, though.
And
Star Trek.
Seriously, dude, like, it was dumb stuff we argued about. Like, I mean, I'm sitting there laughing. He's got a shitty grin on his face because he's plotting against me. You know, like, everyone was like, Shorty, like, how do you stay so skinny? Blah, blah, blah. It's because I walked 30 miles a week because my dad left me places.
Now, does your dad ever ride in the car with you now?
Yeah.
Have you ever dropped him off?
I've joked
Into a
about it.
retirement home.
What's funny?
Yes.
What's funny about this is conveniently, and now my dad's memory is like going away, but conveniently, this man remembers nothing terrible he's done for me. Another thing. So,
Is this the tree story?
this is the tree story.
Okay.
So, we were cutting down a tree at my brother's in-laws' place, and it's an old dead tree, and, you know, rotten and stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like 10, maybe 11. And I'm sitting there looking at this tree. Well, I decide that I'm going to stand in this spot. This is the spot I want to be in. It looks the safest. And so my dad's like, no, you're going to stand here, and like points right next to him. And I was like, but Dad, I don't want to stand there. He's like, this is where it's safe. I said, okay. So I go stand next to my dad because that's where he said to stand. Now he walks away. Now what I do not understand is if it was safe, why did you walk away? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you leave the safety zone that you permitted your son to stay at? So I'm sitting there fine and dandy watching Jim run the chainsaw. And next thing I know, I'm black. A dead log had fallen and conked me on the fucking head and I was gone. I got right up, and my dad's freaking out. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Dad's like, or Jim's like, you told him to stand there. You did that to him.
Oh, well, look, you're the special guest today. Let's hear about some of your stories, man.
Oh, how the fuck do I follow that? All right.
Fucking death by a tree.
Listen, my parents conditioned me to, like, be dumb, all right? And improvise through life. Your parents just embarrassed you, hopefully.
Not really, honestly. It was more, their conditioning was like, don't embarrass us. And I didn't, or I tried my best not to. I remember, like, whenever I wanted to do anything slightly weird, they were like, no, it's weird.
Like Weird House, though.
Like, not even that weird. Like, I got, like, a pair of the Vans, like, checkerboard slip-on shoes when I was in high school. And I wanted to color in the white spaces with whatever colors I wanted to do. And they were like,
Sure.
No, you're going to look like a dickhead. Don't do that.
And your dad probably said that word for word.
That's exactly what he said. And I was just like, I can't be weird at all? Okay.
So your parents were very vanilla?
Pretty straight and narrow, yeah. I didn't have a lot of wiggle room, but I mean, I had a good childhood. I never got left anywhere, and never got taken to an orphanage. Never even really got left at a store or anything like that. Just,
I don't consider my childhood bad. I had a great one.
Man,
It was a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, my dad was always drunk and my mom was always high. So, like, that was the norm to me.
Getting left places?
No, like, they were drunk and high, but they never fucking left me anywhere.
Huh, weird.
They
But,
didn't go anywhere.
No, my dad would pick me up from school just fucking obliterated because he would drink on the job. You know, that's how they did it back in the day for construction workers.
That's fair.
Towards the end of the day, you start cracking a few open. So he would pick me up from school, and I remember this one time he come in so drunk, and he had shaved his mustache off, and he's standing right next to me, and I didn't know it was him. And they're like, okay, you go now. I said, with who? And they're like, your dad. I was like, I don't know this man. I was in the 2nd grade, and I'd never seen him without a mustache. And they're like, that's your dad. No, it's not. And he's just sitting there, and he's chuckling, but, like, he reeks of Budweiser.
Yes, get in the call with his obviously hammered man. See, that just
literally in your sleep.
That just reminds me of you picking me up to go to the comic book store, and about 2/3 of the way there, I'm like, where are we going?
You can function in getting somewhere without needing to know
Yeah.
why or with who.
Apparently, he walks into my first apartment. He walks in, and he's like, hey, Shorty, you want to go to the comic book store? I said, you bet. And hopped right up.
No, you said, quote unquote, that's a dumb question. And
Oh.
just started moving.
Okay, I don't remember that. I don't remember this part. So I get in the car or whatever. We're like 2/3 of the way there. I'm like looking around. I was like, where the hell are we going? And he's like, the comic book store. I was like, oh, sweet. He was like, what do you mean, oh, cool? Like, you've been here the whole time. I was like, have I? Neat. I don't remember any of this.
Oh, dude, sleepwalking's a motherfucker. I remember this one time I sleptwalk, right? For some reason, I woke up in the middle of the night, walked out to my dad's truck, got in the truck, and sat there. And I can
got a funny
remember
story
it
about
now.
this, too.
So, and I get out of the truck because I got tired of waiting on him, and it's pitch black outside. And I walk in the house, and as soon as I open the door, there is a gun barrel right in my
God
face.
bless.
My dad was ready for whoever was coming through that fucking door because he heard me go out, and he got his gun, and the moment I walked back in, right in my face, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
What'd he say?
He's like, you scared me. I thought somebody was breaking in. Apparently, he left the door unlocked for my grandma getting home late. And I guess she either didn't make it home or she was home and asleep and didn't lock the door back. But I walked right out that motherfucker and walked right back in to a gun in my face. The scariest thing to wake up to.
I believe it.
Oh, man.
If your grandma was home, we know you'd be in the room with her watching the Fuzzy Booby channel.
Yeah, Fuzzy Booby channel.
Fucking weirdo.
She was asleep, I think. I know she couldn't have been asleep every time.
I fucking hope so.
Man,
I
there's...
can just imagine the conversation. I think something's wrong with your kid. He just likes watching static.
I think my grandma was smart enough to know what I was
Fair
doing.
enough.
So, when I used to sleepwalk and whatnot, I was real bad about, like, just dropping wherever the fuck I decided to stop walking at. Just done. I'd wake up everywhere. So one time I got in my dad's car in the middle of the night, and I woke up and we were at his work's parking lot. And one of his coworkers said, "Hey, there's a kid walking around the parking lot." And I was awake at this point, just like, I don't know where the hell I'm at. Dad worked in Norwood.
Oh, boy.
So everyone starts looking, and Dad's like, "Holy shit, that's my kid." And Dad comes out. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I woke up here." He's like, "What do you mean you woke up here?" I was like, "Well, I was in the back seat." He's like, "You were in the back seat?"
This man didn't check his back seat before he left for work.
No, not at all.
I always check my back seat. Just on principle.
It was bad, dude. I was in terror, dude. I was always getting into stupid shit. My dad woke me up as I was walking down the street one time. He was on his way to work, and I'm just walking casually, just walking down the street barefoot. It's cold as fuck outside. I ain't got a shirt on. That's how you knew I was asleep, because it was cold and I wasn't wearing a shirt. Fucking Dad just pokes me out the window of his car. So, "What are you doing?" "I don't know. Why is it cold out here?" And Dad's like, "Go to bed." I was like, "That's where I was." And I just turned around and started walking home.
All right, well, before we wrap this thing up.
Miles, do you have any embarrassing stories?
Not so much embarrassing as much as like just conditioning.
Well, let's hear it.
It's like my grandmother's like two big things.
I'm a fan of grandmas. We know this.
I know you
Stop.
are. Her two big things were, don't get in her refrigerator. You ask for something, she will get it for you, and stay out of her purse. If she needed her purse, you brought the whole bag to her.
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me. So, growing up, my mom needs a purse, I'm bringing her the whole purse.
Yeah, you never get in a woman's purse. That's her sanctuary.
I suppose that's just what Grandma said. You don't fucking touch the purse, and you don't get in the fridge.
Especially a parent. When you become a parent, you lose all privacy. So your wallet and your purse are your sanctuaries. Go ahead.
But that stuck with me forever. It's like even when I was first married and moving out on my own, visiting, in-laws and shit. Hey, can I get a soda from the fridge? Yes, you don't have to ask. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. That's the way it should be.
Hey, Miles, can you get this out of my purse? I can bring you your purse.
Yep.
I don't even get it. Like the lady, two of the girls at work keep like their tools or whatever in their lunch bag. I'm like, "Hey, can I get this tool or whatever?" She's like, "Yeah, it's in my lunch bag." I was like, "Okay." And I go over and grab her lunch bag and bring it to her. She's like, "Just get in it.
No.
Get in it." I was like, "No."
You don't get in people's bags.
No. Well, if it was like fucking you, Bon, and Miles, oh, it's in the bag. Like, you got it. I'm diving in there head first.
Yeah. If it's any of you guys, cool.
Yeah.
Purse? Nope. If it's somebody's fridge? Nope. I'd still do that shit here. I wait until someone else is getting in the fridge. I'm like, "Hey, could you grab me a soda, please?"
Yeah. The only time you don't ask is if you yourself put something in there, and that is very, very, very seldom.
Yeah, because I'm not supposed to open the fridge to put stuff in there either.
Really?
You don't mess with the fridge. You want something in or out of it, you went to Grandma. That was it.
Neat.
Which was very counterproductive to my other grandma, who was like, "Have at it." I'm like, well, now I'm torn. But that's carried over to my kids too, because they'll come and ask, "Hey, can I get this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." "Oh, can I get this out of the cupboard?" "Yeah, go ahead."
Yeah.
And some people don't understand. It's like, why you don't just let them have it? I'm like,
No.
I don't care if they're hungry and want something to eat. I will absolutely tell them to go get it. But you have to let me know you're getting into shit.
Right.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree, because what if I'm about to cook dinner and they don't know it?
Well, it's not even about cooking dinner as much, because, I have kind of like set times when I'm going to make stuff. But like when I hear people just start digging through cabinets and shit, I'm like, what the hell's going on up there? Mm-hmm. Or if they want something stupid complicated.
Like, are you going to burn the house down trying to fix this?
Yeah, they don't use the stove yet. They've been doing pretty good with the microwave.
Whoa, man, the other morning I had one of the little ones put in ramen in the microwave while I was in the bathroom.
No water in it?
It had water in it, but it had a motherfucking spoon in that motherfucker, too. I come out, and they're hitting the button. I was like, wait a second. I open up the microwave, fucking spoon in the microwave, in the bowl with the ramen. Like, you
Good
can't
catch,
do
good
it.
catch.
Spoons aren't that bad to put in the microwave.
It's metal. You don't put it in there.
You're not supposed to. but a spoon is better than a fork. A spoon at least won't explode as bad.
Because it can't arc.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Okay.
forks have the prongs, and it's like...
Look at that. Look at us being all smart and shit.
No, look at Miles being all smart and shit. You're an idiot.
I'm the one that said it would arc.
We're talking about being smart while putting silverware in the microwave. What's the level here?
Yeah.
Listen, the bar's low, all right?
Okay.
Hence the name of the show. Don't expect too much smarts.
Yeah, we're educational on a remedial level.
Yeah. Bonbon, you got any dad jokes? Don't say it yet. Think of your favorite one. You got your favorite one?
So many dad jokes.
Think of your favorite one. We're going to let you close the show today. Miles, let's hear a couple dad jokes since we're talking about parentals.
Boy, why couldn't the bike stand up?
Why? It was
was
tired.
Too tired.
Oh! I ruined it. I'm sorry.
Idiot.
What kind of fish has 2 knees? A 2-knee fish.
Oh,
I
boo.
hate this.
Why did the Scarecrow get an award? He was outstanding in his field.
Why did the farmer use a steamroller? He was planting mashed potatoes. Yeah, I hate this.
Is that the best one you got?
I purposely avoid dad jokes. I'm not a stereotype.
As soon as he became a dad, he's like, I'll never make one of these
I
again.
made one as soon as my son was born. I made one like a couple days later. I was like, oh no.
It happens.
All right, Miles, you got another one?
Another dad joke?
Yeah. If you got one more, hold on to it. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to close the show.
Okay.
And when I point to you, Bonbon, I want you to say, so in the meantime, okay? All right, we got this. Everybody knows their part. Everybody knows the assignment?
Now, I'm having trouble picking my dad joke now. You
Just-
put me on the spot.
Oh, God.
Just pick
no.
one.
It's the pressure. You better figure it out quick.
So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
If you guys want to hear a joke about paper, don't bother. It's terrible.
Cue the music. We out.